I'd like to begin by acknowledging that I'm coming to you today from Regina, which is located on Treaty 4 territory. MASS's work and support reaches lands covered by Treaties 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10, the past, present, and future homelands of Anishinaabe, Dakota, Lakota, Michif Métis, Nakota, and Nehiyawak communities. This land acknowledgement is an act of reconciliation and an expression of our gratitude to those whose territory we reside upon or are visiting. We respect and honor the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we are committed to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous nations in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Now, my first order of business today is to introduce our new community engagement lead, Amber Hanover. If you want to say something, Amber, you're more than welcome to.
Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, so this is my first community chat. Following this, I will be hosting and taking over the duties that Wendy has graciously filled in. Just want to say this is our last community chat before the new year, so we will see everybody back in 2022 and hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday.
Thanks, Amber. So welcome to today's community chat. As you know, for over a year now, we've been holding these bi-weekly virtual community chats, connecting museum folks via Zoom from across the province for professional development presentations from museum colleagues and professionals from both within Saskatchewan and across the country. You can view the full lineup of upcoming presenters on our website, and I'll post that to the chat shortly. And all previous recorded chats are available on our YouTube channel. I'll post that link as well. Our most recent chat was on November 24th and was presented by Carla Rasmussen with WDM Moose Jaw about their partnership with Senior Centers Without Walls. Carla described how they had been able to provide programming opportunities to seniors across the province during the pandemic by telephone. Now I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Zoë Schneider, who will provide an overview of the Organization of Saskatchewan Arts Council's traveling exhibits. Zoë is the Virtual and Media Arts Coordinator with OSAC. She will now discuss the various traveling exhibitions that OSAC has available to borrow. If you're curious about traveling exhibitions, this is the perfect time to ask questions from OSAC about their process. It's over to you, Zoë.
Hi, awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm going to start by sharing my screen and we'll do a presentation. How does that look on your end there? Can someone
we can see we see it, but we see it with notes, the next slide.
Okay.
So you may want to do it in presentation style.
All right. I should have. Let's see. Apologies. How does that look now?
Well, we can see it, but
it's still the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe go to the custom slideshow and see what the drop down is there. Maybe you can.
I'm going to stop sharing that one. Share screen and let's do this one. How does that look?
Perfect.
Woo! Okay, apologies. Okay, so we are the Organization of Saskatchewan Arts Council. This is just our fancy little logo. And then let's see. Zoom slideshow. Okay, So we are 53 years old. We are a provincial cultural organization. So we're funded through Sask Culture via Sask Lotteries. We serve rural Saskatchewan communities specifically. Occasionally we will present things in some of the major cities, but our primary focus and our mandate is to serve rural Saskatchewan. We program touring visual arts exhibitions, performing arts, and school tours. And communities from an arts council, so a volunteer working board, can join the OSAC membership to offer our programming to their community. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so we offer also professional development, strategic planning, and succession planning to our members. And then we offer grants to our members to host workshops, artist talks, and arts programming. So there's many benefits to being a member of OSAC. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is some images from our annual showcase. So this is where we do all of our block booking and exhibition booking for the year. You don't have to attend our showcase to book our exhibitions or programming, but it is a way for our members to come together once a year to actually see the things in person before they end up booking them for their community, which we think is like just a really important part of what we offer. As you know, viewing art on a screen versus viewing art in person is a completely different experience. And so that's sort of built into our model. And showcase is also a big celebration. So many of our members are volunteers and they work all year for their communities. So this is the one time of year that they get to have fun. We do a lot of like social engagement. There's a lot of professional development, but they also get to just experience hanging out with each other, having fun, and celebrating the achievements that they've created for their communities throughout the year. So it's a really fun experience. So Arts on the Move, that's the program that I run, is a visual arts program. We toured 18 exhibitions to 61 venues throughout the province and were viewed by over 22,000 people last year. Our pre-pandemic viewership numbers were closer to 45,000 individual people per year viewing our exhibitions, which is pretty good for a province our size, and it doesn't include Regina or Saskatoon. Each year we launch 4 to 6 new touring exhibitions, and they tour for different lengths of time based on the booking. So some exhibitions get 20 bookings, some get 10. It really just depends on what our members want to bring into their communities, and that determines the length of a tour. Our exhibitions are accompanied by education materials that are designed to complement Saskatchewan arts education curriculum. So these include questioning strategies, background information, artists and artworks, post-tour and in-gallery activities, and it all includes curriculum links. And you can kind of see in the background here, this is a photo from a life drawing workshop with touring artist Belinda Harrow. All of her work includes animals, so she brought a dog into the gallery, and then students were able to do life drawing with a live animal, which was really fun and really well received. Okay, so our next program is performing arts, and there we go. So OSAC helps its members engaged in the presenting of performing arts in their communities. Most members that present the performing arts present a season series of 3 to 10 performances and market these shows to their community as like a season ticket. So many of their members will just be season ticket holders, while they will buy like a block to all of the shows that their community brings in. We give a grant, which is a percentage of the total artist fees to our OSAC members, just to lessen the expense of the performances in their community. And it really depends on budget of the artists and what we have per year, but it does help our community members present these performances in their communities. We do our showcase where they get to come and see 20-minute performances from the artists and choose who they want to bring into their community. We handle the negotiation, the routing, and the contracting of performances. We coordinate printing of posters and brochures. And then we also provide financial assistance in the form of grants and incentives for arts councils to promote culturally and artistically diverse performances. And next we have performing arts in schools. So this program is for school tours. Any organization that is booking on behalf of the school, individual schools, school boards, or arts councils are people that can book for their communities. So the cost of a membership is $30, and it's an annual associate membership fee. And you pay that when you book a show. The block booking performance fee is negotiated with the touring artist, and all schools pay the same fee. Every spring and fall, there's a new brochure with the description of the upcoming shows, age suitability, cost, maximum audience, and booking questionnaire. There's study guides, evaluation reports, all of that kind of stuff is handled by us. And you also get a vote at the AGM if you become like a member of the associate program for performing arts in schools. And then we have our Spark program, which is a program that we're pretty proud of and has been like super successful. It's our youth performing arts program. We were finding, since we're 53 years old, a lot of our members are kind of like reaching the age where they don't really have the time or energy to volunteer anymore. And so our boards were becoming concerned with succession. And so Spark, the performing arts program, and Inspire, the visual arts program, were kind of created to build in youth mentorship into the programs that these communities run for themselves. So in Spark's instance, members are considered youth when they're 29 and under. They become a Spark, my brain is shorting out. They become a Spark delegate, and then they will come to showcase, and they will watch the performances, choose who they want to bring to their communities, and then do all of the work to market to their peers and to bring in like more of a youth audience to the membership. On the Inspire side, which is the visual arts program, they will, the same thing, there'll be an Inspire coordinator, 29 or under, and they will put on some kind of arts programming in their community that would appeal to a youth demographic. So they're in charge of booking a show or hiring artists or doing the contracts, making any kind of work that needs to go into behind the scenes arts programming. And it's also been quite successful. It's really fun to see young people in rural Saskatchewan get excited about presenting the arts in their communities. Okay, so ways to participate with OSAC. You can become a member. So, sorry, just 1 second. Just trying to move there we go. So as an OSAC member, you become part of a provincial network of individuals and organizations that develop and promote opportunities for Saskatchewan people to engage in the visual and performing arts. A full membership fee is $200 a year plus GST. An affiliate member is $100, which is like you're just starting out and you want to see what it is, or maybe you're only interested in booking like a portion of the things. So that's our affiliate member status. We also have associate members, that's for schools. Exhibition fees, just so you have an idea, if you're a member, a cost to book one of our exhibitions for 1 month is $175 plus GST, and 2 months is $250. So that's a really good fee if you consider what artist fees are and what shipping costs are. And I'll get into all of the different stuff that we cover, but yeah, that's the general cost of booking an exhibition. And then if you're a member, you also have access to our program grants, which is a max of $1,750 a year. Plus we have a $500 micro grant, and that's to put on workshops, talks, art events, whatever you want to do in your community. We also have access to succession planning, professional development workshops, and presenter network. And then we also provide a travel bursary to attend our showcase every year. So there's many benefits of membership. And let's see. I'm toggling between two different situations here. There we go. Okay, so to book as a non-member. So if you say you're a museum, you just want to pick up like a show a year, you don't really want to be a member, you're totally fine not attending showcase and just kind of seeing what we have online. and wanting to book an exhibition. So the cost to book in that case for 1 month exhibition is $275 plus GST. For a 2-month booking, it's $350. So it is a bit more expensive, but that is an option. And we have lots of non-members that book our shows, and it's not a problem. If you're an artist, you can apply to tour with our Arts in the Move program. And we also have an artist listing on our website. Arts councils will use that to find artists to deliver programming to their communities. So if you're a fiber artist, if you're a landscape painter, if you do 3D digital rendering, whatever you do, make a profile on our website. It's free. And then, you know, hopefully our arts councils will be interested and contract you to present programming in their community. You can also attend a concert or exhibition. www.osac.ca is where all of that information is at. And now I will go into how to host an exhibition at your museum. So OSAC covers all artist fees, all insurance, all shipping costs. We produce brochures and ship them to you. And we also create a digital education guide and poster. Our education guides are created by arts educators or artists, or sometimes myself, and they are usually like a 30 to 60 page document. It's broken down by grade level. All of it has curriculum connections within it, and they are really fun. There's activities that you do before you visit the exhibition to kind of prepare you. There's activities that you do in the exhibition, and then there's stuff that you do afterwards to kind of like let the stuff that you saw in the gallery cement in your brain or to process it. So it's really, I'm really proud of our education guides. They're also free and available on our website. So if you're interested in just seeing what one looks like, I can show you afterwards how to check those out. So you pay the non-member fee if you don't want to be a member. So that's $275 or $350 to book for one of our shows. Your space needs to be safe, temperature controlled, and supervised. We don't require, you know, humidity controls or some of the things that you'd expect in like a larger gallery or for like, you know, much more expensive works that require those conditions. Ours are pretty basic. I will get into that a little bit more, but if you have a museum that is, you know, maintaining the same temperature throughout the year and someone's staffed, then you can totally host one of our exhibitions. So we launch our new exhibitions every fall at our annual conference, but I also make that available online. I usually do a video that kind of walks you through the artists, it shows you images, it talks about workshop opportunities, how to engage your audiences, all of that kind of stuff. You can book then, but I also pick up bookings throughout the year. So a lot of the time I have people contact me saying, one of my shows fell through, or like I have an open spot that I need to program something into, and we usually can find you an open exhibition to slot in there. And especially with galleries, because our fees are so low compared to paying an artist fee on your own, it's a nice way to kind of like ease your budget a little bit and make it a little bit more affordable for you. And yeah, our exhibitions usually tour for about 3 years. So this is an image of our mobile art unit. So this is like another new way to host our exhibitions in your communities. We built this specifically for schools and libraries. We wanted to be able to bring small, mostly 3D exhibitions into schools themselves. So there's activities that you can do. Those like flaps on the side open up and you can kind of touch things and hear things, kind of like games that you can play to engage kids. And right now the unit is empty, but we are programming a new exhibition to go into it. And it's the same kind of fees and the usual stuff. The cool thing is that this closes up to be the crate that it ships in. So it's a pretty cool thing. It just like rolls off the truck into your space, opens up, and you have a gallery. It also has like LED lights that are motion censored, and it's just a really cool unit that we built. Usually this is for schools and libraries, but we're happy to accommodate other spaces that might be interested in having it. So yeah, choosing an exhibition space. So this is going to tell you kind of what you need to have in your space to be able to host one of our exhibitions. So it needs to be easily accessible to school children and to the public. It has to be secure from theft and accidental damage. It's supervised and locked at night. Well lit, but not in direct sunlight or under fluorescent lights. I mean, a lot of buildings have fluorescent lights. It's just, you know, not right directly underneath one. But we do find that direct sunlight specifically can really alter a work, especially works on paper. It can change the pigment. So, you know, it needs to be not right in front of a window, also not right above a register or anything where there's like hot air blasting onto it. So just, you know, a typical wall space that's a little bit removed from all of that sort of stuff that's happening. Yeah, and not by a window that's open, obviously. That could be damaging for the artworks. Yeah, and you can have your works hang on bare walls where it's like on a screw or a nail, or a lot of our communities use a hook and chain system. Whatever you have in your situation, we can make work. As an example, we tour to like gallery settings, so like the Godfrey Dean, Estevan Art Gallery, but we also show in like in Indian Head, it shows our works show in the lobby to their theater. In Leader, they show in the town council chambers. We show in libraries, we show in many different venues that wouldn't be traditional gallery spaces. And as long as those criteria are met, you can absolutely show an exhibition there. So it's pretty open. Okay, so displaying the exhibition, these are standards that we give to our members, but there is wiggle room. So we have a list of works and a hanging order, but most of the time you can make it work for your space. So if you need to stack works, that's totally fine. We do have one exhibition right now, Common Truths by Donna Langhorne, and that one has a very specific layout, and it looks amazing in that layout, but those layouts tell a story, and so those are required to be hung a certain way. For the most part though, you can kind of just alter how it hangs to make it work for your space, and that's totally fine. We include labels, an introductory panel, which includes an essay that gives people some context for the exhibition. We also include a tour binder. This includes the education guide, packing, unpacking instructions, all of that kind of stuff. We also have a pretty substantial condition reporting system, and I'll go through that in a moment. So here's the handling of the art, which I know some people were wondering about. So this is packing and unpacking. For all of our exhibitions, we make a very concise packing and unpacking instructions, and I'll show that in a moment. But we supply gloves that you would wear, and they're just like latex gloves. You remove one piece of work at a time, carry with hands on either side of the artwork. You know, you can stack them 4 at a time, but they have to be the same size. There's lots of stuff like that, but we put it all in there so it's really easy to do. And then for our condition reporting, you're basically just looking at every artwork very closely when you open the crates and put it on your table and start to check for damage, scratches, dirt, debris, anything like that. If you see anything that's really egregious, you call me and I'll like walk you through how to deal with that. But for the most part, it's an insurance reason. So just to note any damage and where it happens, and then we can kind of go through the process of repair. Okay, next slide. Oh, and this exhibition is called I Do Not Have My Words. It's one that we paired with the Moose Jaw Museum and Art Gallery to present. It features Audrey Drever, Joy Arcand, and Catherine Blackburn. It's a really beautiful exhibition that deals with a really tough subject matter. So it's about language loss as a result of residential schools in Canada. We were able to show this at the Lobby Gallery in Regina, and I'm just really proud of this exhibition. I think it looks phenomenal. Okay, so you're going to check every piece of artwork. Like I said, do the condition reporting. You do it when it comes into your space, and then you do it again when it goes out of your space. I will show what our crates look like inside so that you can kind of see how our packing works. All of that kind of information is there. So you pack things in their plastic bags in their appropriate crates. All of this sort of is standard, and you'll look at it when you get it, but let's see. This is an example of our unpacking instructions. So you can see what you're going to see when you encounter one of our crates. You open it up, and this is what a standard one would look like. We work you through how to unpack the crate work by work from top to bottom. And then we also have packing instructions for doing the reverse. So there's not a lot of room for error. Everything is like very specifically put into play there. Yeah, you can kind of see a lot of our 3D works will travel in crates within crates. So you can kind of see Coroplast boxes on the right-hand side there. Those are crates within the crate that are filled with foam that then the ceramic works go into. We mostly do two-dimensional works, and our sizes max out at 36 inches by 36 inches. But we do some smaller sculptural stuff. We can't do anything too heavy because we cover the shipping fees and it can get quite expensive. But we do, like for instance, this show is called Diggers, and they're ceramic works that are, you know, about 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. So it's like a decent size. And a lot of the times if we do tour three-dimensional work that's quite fragile, we'll include plexiglass covers, and just to kind of give you the tools that you need to show the exhibition safely. Yeah, that's about it. I can go to questions, but I can also pull up our exhibitions that we currently have on tour if you want to see. Let's do a new share. All right, so are you looking at my OSAC website right now? I think you should be.
Yep, we are.
Awesome. Okay, so like I said, here's Diggers. This is the ceramic work that I was talking about at the top. It's really cool. Barb Gretzky is also part of our membership. So she's on the Moose Jaw or not the Moose Jaw, the Lumsden Arts Council board. And she started touring with us, and I believe then formed an arts council in her community. So it was really cool series of events, but that's her ceramic work. And that exhibition also includes printmaking and some collage. Below that, we have the Donald Langhorne show. That's the one I talked about, where you need to have a very specific layout. So if you want, I can click on one of these. You'll see the whole kind of like essay that goes with it, the rest of the appearances. And then let's look at an education guide. Can you see it on your screen? Probably. So yeah, this is an example of what we have. Table of contents. You can sort of see like all of the different stuff that we include. So essay, artist statement, introduction of the artist. We do a vocabulary. Here we have woodland art vocabulary and Ojibwe vocabulary, pre-tour activities, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty, there's an example of what different kind of activities look like. It's good stuff. There's lots of links, so it's smartboard accessible. Yeah, so that's a standard education guide. Let's go back through. I have 4 new exhibitions too that I just launched that I don't have up on the website yet, but if you are interested in booking, I can send them to you. We have Edie Marshall's Moving Landscapes, which is a small painting show. We have Family Ties, which is a fiber show that I curated. It's 4 artists, and it's 4 artists working with the ideas of family and connection and what family can mean for people. And most of them use embroidery as their main medium, but they approach it in very, very different ways, which I find to be really neat. The Keep On Going show is Frank and Vic Sikansky. This is another partnered with Moose Jaw exhibition. So this show includes paintings and some sculptures by Frank Sikansky and his son, Vic Sikansky, who you might know is a very renowned ceramicist. And so this is kind of like a look at Saskatchewan folk art, pairing the father and son together. It's a really fascinating show. We have Jeff Phillips, Landscapes of the Prairies. This is one of our last shows that's bigger than 36 by 36. These paintings are about 4 feet by 5 feet. They're pretty massive and the crates are quite huge. They're beautiful and you really feel immersed in these paintings. But we are finding that a lot of our members are sort of finding it a little bit too much to deal with crates that are, 300 pounds and quite massive. So we are sort of scaling down. We also looked at our sister organizations across the country, and many of them have size limits for what they'll accept for touring. So we decided to go ahead and do that as well. So this is one of our last really massive shows on tour. We have Hannah Yakazawa Farcarson, the Calling exhibition. These are fiber works. She's an amazing fiber artist from Saltcoats, which is close to Yorkton. This is an example of some of the sculptural works that she has on tour, but there are many 2D works as well. Then we have the I Do Not Have My Words exhibition that I spoke about earlier. That one's almost done its tour. We have Scissor Cuts. That was a partnership with the Saskatchewan German Association. This is a show of Jessica Richter, who's an artist and administrator in Regina, and Valtrauda Stevine, who is an artist in Saskatoon, who's in her 90s. And they both do scissor cuts, but approach it in a very different way. And we kind of paired those together to do a very beautiful, interesting exhibition. That one has like some nice historical relevance as well. And then we have Madhu Kumar, The Stories of Immigrant Women. That's another big show. Those paintings are pretty large. And this one comes with a really cool apps that you can sort of have the paintings come alive. So you use the ArtVive app, which I'm not sure your members are probably familiar with, but you hold it up to each painting, and then a video plays on your phone of the subject of the portrait telling their story. And it really brings the exhibition alive. It's just a really gorgeous exhibition to see and a really important topic. And I love the way that technology has been brought into the way that these paintings move across the province. And then finally, we have The Flower May Not Look Like the Roots. That's an exhibition of 7 artists dealing with the idea of landscape, but in a very contemporary way. We have painting, fiber, ceramics, video art. Everything's kind of represented in that exhibition as well. Yeah, so that's it for that. I will stop share. And yeah, I guess we can probably open it up to questions if you're okay with that.
We have one question.
Sure.
I think it's from Eileen. Do you want to ask it, Eileen?
Sure. Just wondering, you maybe went over this, but I was a little bit late to the game. Sorry, this morning. Do you have to be a member of OSAC to book the kits? I know like lots of small rural communities would love the opportunity even to like host things in their libriries.
Do you mean like the education kits, or do you mean like a tour, like an exhibition?
Like the tours that you were just
oh,
explaining.
Sure. Yeah, no, you don't have to be a member to do that. It's a little bit more expensive to book if you're not a member. I think it's about $275 for 1 month and $350 for 2 months. So it is a bit more expensive, but if you're only booking like one a year, it makes more sense to not necessarily go through the membership to do that. Yeah, so it is very open. As long as
that's great. We have lots of communities and rec directors that are wanting to bring in the arts, and I think this is awesome. Like a super easy like introduction into it. It's all there, and all the instructions are there. So
fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if people have more questions, please feel free to send them my way. I'm happy to answer anything that they may have. And I'm just Zoe at osac.ca. It's pretty straightforward. But
I was just watching as you went through your presentation, and so it took me back to when I worked in a museum years and years ago, and we would get traveling shows, and you get the crate, and it'd have the instructions on how to take everything out and then how to put everything back, easy peasy. And I do know that a lot of our member institutions work with their local arts councils as well. Oftentimes, the museum or the gallery, like the Grand Coteau Center in Shaunavon, they're the location where the local arts council always puts the tour. And that works. And I was really intrigued by the mobile art unit.
Yes.
I think there are some of our members that may not have a big enough space to really host a full exhibition, because it does take a certain amount of wall space
It
basically
does, yeah.
to do it. But I think those mobile art units could be a very good way for our members to bring in something
Mhm.
and showcase something, but on a much smaller physical footprint in their space, or the
Yes.
space they could use.
Yes, it makes it a lot more accessible. And, you know, another place I'd love to see them go is senior centers, because, you know, a lot of the time people that live there can't necessarily get out to go to the gallery, but if it can just come into their lobby and open up, people can visit it. The works that we tour in the mobile unit are really durable. So the show that was kind of shown in the images was a felt and printmaking show. So those works, you know, if they get tousled around a little bit, like they're still packed really well, but they're much more, you know, durable, especially since they're going to schools. We do have like sort of plexi covers on every shelf, but you know, hands can grab things sometimes. So yeah, we're not going to tour ceramics necessarily in there, but
Yeah, I can see that, but I can also see, you know, at some point in the not too distant future, chatting with OSAC about how, you know, how we might work together on
yeah.
topics to be put into, especially to go to seniors, to long-term care homes,
Oh yeah.
the kinds of small three-dimensional
Mhm.
that would bridge the arts and heritage and
Mm.
be of interest. It's got my brain cells just.
Yeah, we would love that. That would be fantastic. We love to partner to offer things. I think it's like really important. There's so many organizations doing really cool things in the province, and let's work together to serve everybody.
What we think too. Why reinvent the wheel when
Exactly.
we work together and, you know,
Mhm.
have a whole list of member organizations,
Mhm.
institutions. You know, we can collaborate. It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
About
And one thing too, sorry,
go ahead.
just in because of coming up planning and stuff for some of our programming too is, and this is more for our members, looking at possibly getting some of these tours and things, but we are working with someone maybe developing a program on art installation.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
hanging,
Mhm.
as well as, you know, some of those details that you guys include.
Mhm.
But that would be a great resource too. So we'll definitely be in touch.
Oh,
When
fantastic.
that
Yeah.
kind of, I'll put the bug in Dan's ear. Unfortunately, he's not here today, our programming coordinator.
Mhm.
So yeah, but the idea of it coming with everything, the labels are included as well, right? For the
Yep.
hanging labels and stuff. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I couldn't remember. I've been when I used to work for the Gateway Festival down in Bengoff.
Oh, cool. Mhm.
Yeah, Carol Cairns had her gallery there, so she
Yeah.
had her OSAC touring coming and going as we were working during festival time too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah.
Carol
Yeah.
actually worked with me too. She was the performing arts coordinator at OSAC for a while too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right when I started about 10 years ago, and then she moved on. But yeah,
It's a
small-
very small world.
it's such a small world in Saskatchewan, especially.
But I was thinking the same thing about the art handling, because we do have right now a course on kind of more around the care of art pieces for gallery, for our
Right.
gallery members.
Mhm.
This one would be terrific to do something on, you know, what are the best ways to safely mount an exhibit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And talk more in detail about that eye height and.
Oh yeah, 56 to 58 inches, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
We
High
cover.
distance, straight on the wall, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Squint, or do you use a, you know, there's all sorts of things. So be prepared for a call, Zoe, is all
I'm
saying.
happy to do that. I'm also going to throw a thing in the chat here. So this is a link to our new exhibitions that we're launching right now. I'm in the process of scheduling, but it'll take you to all of our new stuff and what it looks like. And yeah, you can kind of see. I won't play it right now, but yeah, it's all there.
You know, this is a great thing for us to see that
Good.
one of our sister organizations is able to do and do so well.
Oh,
One
thank you.
question I did have is, how long are these shows usually traveling? Like, what is the usual length of time that you'd be planning, for example?
Sure. Yeah. So normally we start working with our artists in, a June, July kind of situation. So they either apply to our open call, or we curate them, or they're part of a partnered exhibition. We take it to our members in the fall, and then it starts touring the following spring. So we're already working with them for about a year before it actually hits the road. And then once those tours start, it's usually about 3 years. We have had some exhibitions go a bit longer than that, and then some are 10 exhibition spots and they're a little bit shorter. Really just depends what our members want to book. But yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
My email address, there we go.
You're good.
Yeah, it's super simple. Yeah, and I can send you any information you would have, as well as like a booking form. Anything you're interested in, I'm happy to send your way. And yeah, we really do show in many different venues. You don't have to be a member, you don't have to be a gallery. We can find a way to make it work. You can even come to me with like, oh, I have a small wall that's perfect for showing art, and I can find an exhibition that will fit for you based on theme or size or medium, really whatever you want. I can figure something out. Yeah.
That's great to know. That's also great to know.
Good.
Excellent.
Good. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Eileen.
All right. Any other questions?
Just repeat the website. Is it just www.osac.ca?
OSAC.ca.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can kind of see like all of our different stuff on there, the artist listing, all of our different stuff, showcase, school tours, performing arts, visual arts, it's all there. We also do a newsletter, a quarterly newsletter that has information in it. If you want to sign up for that, you can do that on our website. Yeah, but we're here, we do a bunch of things.
You too.
Thank you. Likewise. I'm really excited that we're working together, and Sarah has been reaching out and we've been talking about things. So yeah, it's really nice to see and do.
Exactly. So it's always good. I mean, we just did a partnership with Eileen and the districts that
Fantastic.
very well, a virtual session on basically on allyship, how to be a good
Cool.
it was
awesome.
It went very well from what I understand. So
that's fantastic.
there you go. Well, thank you very much, Zoe. And
Awesome.
Be prepared for calls once this goes up, because it will be posted on YouTube.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm here.
We know we get a lot of views on YouTube from people who may be busy right now with tours and such. So they'll be coming. And as Amber had said, we will be taking a break over the holidays. Our first community chat of the new year will be January 19th. And it is with the Alzheimer's Society of Saskatchewan. And we're going to talk about dementia-friendly initiatives and museums. Communities changes everything when it comes to dementia. Organizations of all types and sizes have an important role to play in building more dementia-friendly communities in Saskatchewan. Join this community chat to learn about dementia, the dementia-friendly initiatives of the Alzheimer's Society, and consider how a dementia-friendly lens can help museums increase support, inclusion, and accessibility in their social and physical environments for people affected by dementia. And then on February 2nd, Paul Thistle is going to talk about museum worker burnout, more than just self-care for survival. In recent years, worker burnout has become increasingly prevalent in museums. Worker burnout is now such a significant problem that health benefit providers are urging us in a 2020 report to get at this now, or else mental health claims at staggering levels are going to become the new norm. This presentation will briefly identify the causes of burnout in museum workers and address some of the solutions to this problem. I mean, the pandemic has certainly made that worse. We're always looking for new people to present at our community chat. So if you have an idea you'd like to share, or if you know somebody you think would be really good, you know, like Zoe, you can always check it out on our website and put forward that idea. I put the link in the chat, or you can just go to our website, www.saskmuseums.org. So again, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you at our next community chat. And I really do hope that you have a very, very happy holiday. Bye for now.
Thank you.